guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle. Today I'm going to be showing you guys 5 healthy swap options so that you can kind of get kick-started on your health and fitness journey and right away add these ingredients into the meal you're making or desserts you're making rather than traditional food items that aren't really going to help you to achieve your fitness goals. So let's get right into it. So the first and most important, I would say, is sugar. Sugar is already in so many things, and when you're cooking at home, you don't want to add more sugar, especially if you eat out a lot. Chances are you're eating a ton of sugar already. So I use maple syrup. Maple syrup is my favorite because I'm from Canada, so it's abundant, and I just kind of grew to love it. And now I use it as a sugar replacement. So if I'm making any dessert or anything like that, I'm going to use maple syrup, or you could use honey or agave syrup, but generally always have maple syrup on hand. So this is my go-to for my sugar replacement. It works really well. And then number 2 is going to be butter. So butter replacement is really good because if you're baking, you're going to need butter in a lot of recipes, but you can actually just use coconut oil and it's completely fine. Also, if you're like sauteing something, instead of using butter, you can use coconut oil. In terms of like weight loss, coconut oil definitely is still high in fat, but it's more nutritious than butter. So I would definitely swap to coconut oil rather than butter. Number 3 is flour. So there are 3 different parts to wheat. It is bran, germ, and endosperm. The bran is essentially fiber and the germ is the nutrient dense part of the wheat. And the endosperm, which you are left with, is essentially just starch, aka sugar and carbohydrates. So white flour doesn't offer anything really nutritional value, and it's really not going to help get you towards your fitness goals, and you're not adding any nutrients, and I just think that that's detrimental. Even if you're trying to lose weight, I think that health should always be the main priority. Instead of using white flour when I'm baking, I generally use a spelt flour. If I'm making a breading or a batter, something like that, I'll use spelt flour. Okay, and then the next tip is egg. So rather than using egg, if you're trying to transition to a plant-based diet or just want to get more nutrients in your diet, flaxseed is a great egg replacement. It's full of omega-3s. So as an egg replacer, you're going to combine 1 tablespoon of flaxseed with 3 tablespoons of water, and you're going to let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you're going to basically have your egg replacement. So I've used this many times in many different ways as a binder, and it works really well. You can also use chia seed, but I generally tend to go towards flax. And number 5, this goes hand in hand with the white flour, but white bread as well. So that's essentially the same thing. They're just taking this endosperm, which is the nutrientless part of the wheat plant, and they are putting that into your bread, and you're not getting any nutrients. You're just filling up on carbohydrates and sugar. My swap is Ezekiel bread. I love Ezekiel bread. At first, it was a little difficult to adjust, but now it's normal to me. I don't even notice the difference. So Ezekiel bread tastes pretty good now to me, and it's flourless. It does contain gluten, but it just doesn't contain that white processed flour. I'm going to now show you guys how I make my banana bread using these ingredients. So let's get started.
Okay, so because the flaxseed needs to sit for about 5 minutes, I'm just going to start off by doing that. And then I'm going to add in 2 ripe bananas and mash them up with the masher. Then I'm going to add 1/3 cup of coconut oil. And then I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of maple syrup. And finally, for the wet ingredients, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. The flax egg's looking ready now, so I'm going to add that into the wet mixture as well. Just give it a good mix, and then finally you can add the dry ingredients. So I'm just grabbing my sifter and adding 1 cup of spelt flour. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and just a little pinch of salt and maybe about a teaspoon of cinnamon. Give that a good mix all together. Additionally, you could add some walnuts or even some chocolate chips, and your banana bread is ready to go in the oven. I had preset my oven for 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I'm just going to put a timer on for 50 minutes. and your banana bread's ready. It was that easy. Thank you so much for watching my video and supporting my channel. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It's so greatly appreciated.